Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back. So today we're going to finish up basing this page, and I am bringing back my watercolors for the crocodile. We're going to give him a nice green. Probably like I think like maybe like an olivey green would be nice. Like a yellow, dark yellow green type of green. That way I can add some browns to it if I want. But I'm going to start with the tail, and I was going to do him brown, just brown originally, but I was like, no, I think I want it to be green. I think it would kind of blend in with the rest of the page. So we're going green. And I'm just hopping right in. And again, these are my watercolors. They are a mix of everything. So bring what you got as far as your watercolors go. Whatever your favorite watercolors you like to use, that's what you're going to bring. Bring it to the table and get some color on the page. Because if you really think about it, we've done what, 3-4 videos, and all we have to do is base it now. The hard part is over. The hard part of selecting our colors, the hard part of getting the color on the page, the hard part of figuring out what to do first, the hard part of it's just all the hard parts are just done. So once we're done basing, now we get to go and pick our pencil colors and go, okay, you know, this is what I need for the shading, this is what I need for this. And really, I need to do this a lot more with all of my pages, just because if I go back, I picked a lot of random colors kind of on the fly. Everything I did here today was on the fly. I've done this page just in one go, which is nice because I don't usually have a lot of time to, stretch out all my hobbies and stuff like that. So this is a very good way to kind of spread things out and about, and hopefully we can still make it look nice. So far, like I said, if you want to leave it like this, there's nothing wrong with this. You've got color on the page. You've officially done a Kerby page. You could have done this whole thing in watercolor if you wanted. So if this is as far as you got and this is as far as you want to go, congratulations. You've officially done a Kerby page. I'm just going to add some pink. And as for his teeth, I don't really know. I might leave them white and just add a little bit of gray, maybe. Or you can do them like a creepy yellow. But I'm trying to not make this page creepy because this is for the people who, are having a hard time with his books. But yeah, so and now in my copy, my copy will most likely have some creepy things going on. But keeping it less creepy here for the ones who are a bit squeamish. Because I want everybody to color in Kerby. And you don't have to pick this page in this book and all that. I just picked this page because this is the book I've been working in. So this is why I went with this page. But you don't have to pick the same page as me. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this and kind of so again, if this is as far as you want to go, congratulations. That's it. We've officially done a Kerby page. But y'all know me, I'm gonna take it a bit further. So this video is only at 5 minutes, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work a little on Peter. I have brought out my Prismacolors, believe it or not, for the non-believers, just because that's probably the fastest way to go. I'm scared. I'm so scared to sharpen this because I know. Okay, we got it. It's fine. Okay. I am coming in with Prismacolors, and I am going dark to light, and I'm adding some shading onto Peter's boots. And you don't need a lot because we've already got the base color now. So I'm not super shading. I'm not, coming in with like 80,000 colors. The most I'm going to try to come in with is about 3. Just to show you guys, what's happening here. So I'm just coming in, I just grabbed a random green. I didn't bring out my swatch book and none of that. I just grabbed a green, and we're coming in with the shading right over the water-based markers. Over the water-based markers is what we're doing. Which is why I said earlier, don't worry about it looking perfect or anything like that, because we're just going to go right over it anyway. I'm going to come in just a little bit darker. And again, the page does buckle, but we're fine. It's fine. Once you close the book and everything, it'll flatten. So you don't need to do too much here. So I'm just gonna come back in, and this part is the part that's going to take probably the longest, but it just depends on how much shading you want and how much time you want to invest in it. You don't need a lot. You don't need to add a lot. You don't need to do a lot because we've already put the base down for the main color. So we're just coming in and just adding a little bit of detail, not too much. And then I'm going to do the same thing for his little thing. And then for his skirt, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to add like little pieces because his skirt is kind of like randomly drawn on. So we're just going to randomly add like little dark shading areas. Don't think too hard about it. Just randomly place some shading. Don't think too hard. Don't think at all. Just put little shading pieces down so it can look like it's different pieces of leaves or whatever his skirt is made out of. I would assume leaves. Just add some shading pieces in random places. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then same thing for this cape he's got on. I'm just adding wherever I feel like it, the dark shading pieces. Make it random, guys, because it's leaves, so it's not going to be perfect. I assume that's why Kerby drew it like that, because it's not meant to be perfect, because it's just random leaves of a cape. And then this part is kind of like curving in, so I'm going to add a little bit here. Same thing here. I'm going to go all the way up because it's kind of coming from the back side. But the rest of it, just make it random. Little squiggly dots, little squiggles. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a different green and kind of do the same thing. Little squiggles everywhere. just to make it look like a bunch of leaves. He didn't draw this with too much detail, so you can get away with like making it look non-uniform with the leaves and such. They don't have to be, it's not like you have to go leaf by leaf, because he didn't draw it leaf by leaf. That's what I'm getting at. So you can keep it pretty random. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit right here. And over here. And also in the skirt. Excuse me. And then very lightly, I'm gonna take a light green and go over the whole thing. Very lightly, not too dark. And that'll cover any white spots we missed. It'll blend in anything that needs to be blended. And again, very lightly. Now for his skin tone, I'm going to probably grab eggshell. What color is this? No, maybe not eggshell, because he's a little lighter than that. This is seashell pink. So that's what we're gonna grab. And I'm just going to create a little bit of shading, not too much. We won't do too much here, because we already based them. So, and if you want, you can even add like I might grab, this is peach beige, for a little bit darker. If the other one isn't showing up, but we don't need a lot because the Crayola did most of the work for us. So we're just coming in with a little bit of shading, covering up any lines we missed. If you want to go darker, you can, but you don't need to. Again, we're trying to make it less intimidating, so don't do too much. Because we can make it less intimidating and still make it look nice. Now, if you just really need to make it a little darker, you can grab like whatever. I'm grabbing the sandbar brown, but you don't need to do this part. But if you just, oh, it's not dark enough, oh, it's not enough shading, you know, you fiddly like I am, then you can grab something. But again, keeping it to just 3 colors, and I'm going to use this same sandbar brown for Hook, because this would be a perfect shading color, I think, for him. For Peter, we're going to add some of that first color we used back in, because we don't want him too dark. We're just using this for shading for Peter. Just a little bit. Okay, and then we're gonna come back in with that first one and go over the whole thing just to cover anything we missed. The Prismacolors will cover that up for us. Any white spots, any, uneven spots, while also blending the other stuff together. I'm still sick, guys, so I hope this is making sense. I really hope. Okay. And then, like I said, we're going to use the same sandbar brown for Hook. And we are just going to add a little bit. Oh, yeah, this is a good shading color for him. Oh, this is perfect. And then for his face, we're gonna put the shading underneath and around to make it look like it's coming from underneath. Like the light's in front of him, a little bit underneath his hair. Ooh, we can leave his hair white and add some sparkles to it. And then here underneath the arm. Boom. Now for Peter's hair, I want to add some brown. Not too much because I do like the orange that's going on. And so I'm just gonna add, okay, Prismacolor, don't start. I'm just gonna add it in a few places. Just to make it, you know, I want to keep the orange, but I want to tone it down a bit, that's all. So we're just adding a little bit. And normally I would go into like super detail with hair and stuff, but I won't do that because we're supposed to be keeping it simple. Okay? So now I did forget, and I just noticed underneath here, which doesn't need much, but I'm gonna just add a little bit of shading underneath his cloak. And that's because I did miss a few spots, so I'm just covering that up. Okay. Now, moving on to Hook. I want his clothes to be kind of a dark red. We've already got the, whatchamacallit, the base color red. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'll sharpen my pencil very small and pray it doesn't break. And I'm just gonna go in and add some shading to wherever I feel like I need it to be dark. And we did this red on purpose so that we didn't have to do too much. And I mean, once you start, like I said, once you start and you put the base down, this part coming in with the base coloring and everything is easy. You just pick your colors, your shadow, your shadings, and so on and so forth, and we're good. You don't have to do anything. It's pretty easy. It's as easy as you want it to be, because I can go and pick 50 million different color combos and be extra with it, or I can keep it simple and it still looks pretty good. But I noticed the faster I color, the less I worry about what it looks like. And this is not how I normally color at all. I normally am very fiddly about my combos and stuff, but sometimes when I don't feel like doing all of that, I will sit and pull out watercolors and stuff like that, and I'll just put a base. And I usually move a lot slower than what I'm moving, so it is a little bit more finite when I do it. But for the sake of the video, I just kind of moved a little bit faster, but at the same time, it still is coming out really cool. So you take that and use it how you will. Move as fast or as slow as you want. Add as much detail as you want. But for those that are super intimidated and just don't know where to start, I felt like this would be a good way to do that. So I hope you guys enjoy this little series. And again, you don't have to do it the way I did it. You don't have to pick the same colors. You don't have to do any of that. This is just a kind of overall, this is how I would do it if I was intimidated type of thing. So if this is not your jam, or if this is not how you would do it, then that is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. No one's gonna come after you if you don't do it the way they do it. So for his hat, we did want it to be black, but I want to add some grays. Just to kind of make it, because I don't want to make it like black. I want it to be like a gray black. Especially if we're leaving his hair white, which I think would be cool. And then I can come in with like, hopefully this is a darker gray. I don't use my Prismacolors a lot, so I really don't know. Like I said, I'm just picking colors that I think is going to be correct or what I need it to be. So if it don't work, then it don't work. But so far, we're doing okay. I would like to, I mean, I haven't had any, well, I'm not going to say it, but so far the Prismacolors are working for me today. They work well on top of things, so that's fine. Now I'm going to grab some browns for these boots and such. I don't like that one. So yeah, so you can just, like I said, you can add and subtract however much color you want. You can leave things the way they are. You don't have to do shading if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. You see, I'm only doing like, normally I'd have like 6-7 colors. It'd be super shaded and all these details, but if I'm intimidated by a page, I'm not going to be doing all that. I'm not going to want to do all that because it's going to make it worse. It's going to make me more intimidated. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to pick a few. Here's the combo. Here's what it looks like. Here's, and I know some of you are like, wow, this is the fastest I've ever seen bubble color. Yeah, when I'm not focused on, the details and such, I can probably color pretty quick. But that's not how I color, nor how I like to color. So take a picture, guys. This is just to help those who are intimidated by Kerby's books. And it's kind of strange because for me, I don't think I was ever really intimidated by his, because I got his book and I just jumped in it with my super tips and my gel pens and my Crayola pencils because that was all I had. And then I got my polys, and then from there, and it wasn't really like, he was actually one of my first books, so I never really was intimidated by him. Anyway, that's Hook. We've got Hook and Peter done. All right, see you guys in the next part. Bye.